and welcome to Now Showing. I'm Atika Farooqui. This is a beautiful week. The rains have made it pleasant for us to enjoy our movies even more. The film industry is raising the bar every week and we are in for surprise so frequently. Let's start the show with some of the people who actually raise the bar. Laal Singh Chaddha is a labour of love, an intense yet a light film that incorporates Indian history with a passionate love story with aplomb. A rare conversation with Kareena Kapoor, who reveals how she still manages to show that innocence in her characters even after acting for 22 years. Director of this week's Raksha Bandhan talks about creating strong women characters from Datto in Tanu Weds Manu till date and what makes them desirable. And a chat with Huma Qureshi, Amit Sial and SohumShah about season 2 of their political drama Maharani. Let's talk about Laal Singh Chaddha that releases this week at the box office. Forrest Gump, that released in 1994, had won 6 Oscars, and the premise of the film has always enamored me. Imagine a person who is biologically not able enough to have a take on things. He sees the events in history as a bystander, and his innocence becomes his weapon to spread happiness, love and change lives. Now, Laal Singh Chaddha is one step ahead. He was born less than others in his physical and mental faculties. The power of non-judgment and innocence makes him a more lovable, successful and accomplished human than others. Like Forrest in Forrest Gump, Laal Singh Chaddha lives through India from the 1980s till 1918. He falls in love and the undying love story continues till the girl who has a traumatic childhood memory which drives her need to become rich. She makes wrong career moves, lay herself at the mercy of pitiless film producers, comes back after seeing all the men and finally finding Laal the sexiest of all because he always insisted to ghar chal, symbolizing for her that Laal is as comforting as home. The film is a journey and fights the conventional form of cinematic rendition of everything moving towards a climax. Each phase is to enjoy, to feel, reminisce and to reflect. In the original, a black man called Babba had an ancestral fishing business which he wanted Forrest to partner with him in. Here we have Bala, played by actor Naga Chaitanya. He's got the same jawline but more connectivity with the audience. I was rooting for him as much as I did for Laal. And then Lieutenant Dank from the original is an enemy here in the war that Laal saves from bullets. Unknowingly. This track is powerful as the premise of the film. What if we do not see from the prism of binaries of we versus them and friends versus enemies? So this is a new track that writer Atul Kulkarni created in the context of Indian history. I was expecting the same outlandish mannerism though, but this track is sobered down compared to the dynamic original of Lieutenant Dank. For the most part, director Advait Chandan's Laal Singh Chaddha remains faithful to the original material. From the feather up top to Laal's magic shoes as a child to the metaphorical running through the pages of history, a shout out to writer Atul Kulkarni. He and director Advait Chandan have made a worthy adaptation of the original. Now coming to Rupa D'Souza, played by Kareena. She as a performer has been as good as Aamir Khan here. Truly, in some scenes, her mistakes and stupidity makes her even more likable. This is the meatiest role of her career, if I may say. Faulty yet lovable. She and Laal, especially in the later scenes, completely make you cry. Aamir's tale of being at it for the last 15 years or so is so justified. It's worth officially adapting for Indian audiences as our marred history deserves a recap. Fused with a love story maybe. Aamir in some scenes like of running across India in the most beautifully shot states, tying a turban with those expressions, showing that innocence that comes only when you just don't absorb negativity or hatred. He is able to accomplish anything because he runs not just on the roads but also in life. He works in so much detail and makes a product so worth admiring that you are set thinking, what am I doing with my life? लोग अपने क्राफ्ट के साथ साथ कितना काम कर रहे हैं और उसे कितना ऊंचा लेके जा रहे हैं. So that is the praise that Aamir Khan totally deserves with this film. Watch Laal Singh Chaddha with family और उसके बाद गोलगप्पे. Indira Nui said an important attribute of success is to be yourself. Never hide what makes you, you. In the last 22 years in her acting career, Kareena has gone through immense adulation, immense scrutiny, as she has also retained an image where she can look very innocent in her character, even after portraying so many myriad roles. That's a unique quality that she puts in her craft. Quite brilliant as Rupa D'Souza in Laal Singh Chaddha, she talks to me on a rainy evening on Aamir Khan, Laal Singh Chaddha, Saif, and one film of her grandfather Raj Kapoor that she would want Aamir Productions to produce. Maximum people would still think that the real Kareena is Pooh, and the real Kareena is Geet. But quite contrary to it, you're not that person.
No, I think that those characters were so, like, they were so iconic. Like, people like loved their dialogues, loved their Geet's personality, or whether it was Pooh. So I think it kind of just had such a huge, it just goes to show that 20 years later also the impact of those characters are still there, you know.
But you know, not just how they were written, they were also performed so well that they become synonymous to you as an actor.
Yeah, of course. That's that you have to, I think when good actors kind of do parts, you have to own the part.
Own the part.
You have, you know, like people should say that, oh God, I can't imagine anyone else playing the part other than her.
So I will start with Laal Singh Chaddha. So she plays Rupa. You know, this is a very unique phase in an actor's life, Kareena, where the duration of the role doesn't matter. So how does this film, Laal Singh Chaddha, add to your repertoire of films?
I think that the fact that, you know, it's such an iconic film, and Jenny was such an iconic character because she was not a character that's black or white. She was quite grey. And to have a love story like that with such an innocent person like Forrest, that's what was also the USP of this kind of love story. And that's how Lal and Rupa, and like I can't imagine anyone else apart from Aamir. And Rupa's character, I think he was very sure that, like, you know, he wanted me to play that part.
You only, true.
And because I think there is a certain, you know, like a certain vulnerability hai,
like I said, you want to protect
character. True. That when you see her on screen, you're literally, you know, you have to root that for Lal and Rupa. Okay, I hope they are together in the end. I hope, you know, in that, it's that kind of a love story. You know, I mean, I've always played these characters, like you said, you know, which is positive, where there's Geet, there's Pooh, there's things like that, you know, but there's not been like this grey kind of character in a long time. So it's actually the role that I wanted to play.
True.
So apart from anything.
You have worked with Aamir in 3 Idiots, Talash, and spent a lot of time. I think now you've come to a point in life where you can actually read each other's minds also on the set. So from your point of view, which we might not know of, tell us what are the things that are unique to Aamir as a talent?
Aamir's mind is very unlike any of the minds that I've ever, you know, kind of worked with. He truly is a very unique person. He truly is, I would say, a complete genius in his own, you know, in his own way. The way he just comes from a different direction. His wind blows from a different direction. He just kind of, everything, you know, like the dedication, the passion, the kind of love that he has for his films. From Rak to Laal Singh Chaddha. I mean, I think no one really knows the real Aamir Khan because you've never really seen him ever on screen. You've just seen his characters.
True.
And he's always just made those characters his own, you know. I mean, you can't take out the character from, you know, Tare Zameen Par and put him in Laal Singh Chaddha or vice. That's Aamir Khan's USP. And
that's true.
I think his mind is his brilliance. So you know, he's someone who's, I mean, to make this film is like, you know, a film like Forrest Gump, you know, and own it and make it
15 years he's been at it.
So I think that is very brave of him. And Aamir has always been very brave as a person, as an actor. He's somebody who's very sure-footed of himself, that this is what I want to do. As an actor also, he has his feet firmly on the ground. He knows exactly how, you know, he's thought about it. He knows how he wants to play it. Everything is very thought of. I've known him for like 30 years now, you know. I mean, I've seen him, but I've just seen like him grow from like, I don't know, from like strength to strength, whether it's Andaz Apna Apna, Raja Hindustani. I think that he truly is an institution in his own way, and I've been very, very lucky to have done such good work with Aamir.
You've said several times that never let go of an opportunity where you can learn something from someone.
Of course.
I was watching one of your old interviews at the time of Refugees release, and also your earlier films where your performances are always very, they're laced with excitement. Your dialogue delivery is always very high soul. And then come to Urta Punjab, and there are a lot of pregnant pauses that you employ as an actor to make a point now, which were not there earlier. So there is a transformation between your personality, your life, and your acting techniques also. What is that technique?
No, I think to grow as an actor, you have to grow as a person as well. And if you have a career of 22 years and you started at a young age, there will always be that growth. And if I'm still going to be doing those bubbly characters with overexcitement, I mean, I'm not that person. I'm not. I have to grow as an artist. I have to grow as an actor. Acting is something that I love doing. It's my passion. It's my dream. I've always wanted to, you know, be in front of the camera. So the idea is to grow as an artist also, as a person also. And I think that calmness comes with age, it comes with maturity, it comes with experiences that you have of your own, you know. And I've been one person who's never taken her success and failure both very seriously.
True. You know, we saw in the news that you and Saif and the entire family attended a Rolling Stones concert. I'm also a big fan of blues music, and experiencing different kinds of arts. If you're an artist, it's a sure shot of winning proposition because it adds. Your husband, I have shot several good conversations with him, and he comes across as such a deep individual with such experiences. So he has been raised in boardings, both in India and abroad. He's known to be an avid reader of books, and he believes in life beyond movies. And I can see those changes in you also, where you're taking interest in various other things. So tell me, what are the non-film activities, Kareena, that you've started doing the last 5 years that have added immensely to your craft?
No, I think that just generally, I think just kind of the content we watch, the kind of people we meet, it's not necessary it has to be from the same periphery. You know, we like, because of course Saif knows a lot of people, and even we have common interests in whether it's travel, whether it's in watching shows, whether it's not like going to big parties. I think these are things that, like, we now with the kids, we rather sit home and cook a meal. COVID has taught us to, you know, like, where we enjoy cooking our own food and eating it. We love doing things like that. We involve, you know, Taimur also now. So it's about, you know, involving and being inclusive with, you know, your family also. That we enjoy doing. It's big parties, I mean, once in a while it's okay, but it's never been like something that's been high up on our agenda. And he's like, I don't know why it's such a big thing. Because sometimes it's nice to like read, like he likes reading ghost stories, then he'll tell us about it. We have discussions about that. So it's like introducing you to different kind of things that you start enjoying apart from, you know, apart from maybe just movies.
I'm sure you know that intelligent women and accomplished women find Saif very sexy.
Oh, I'm sure.
What do you feel about it?
I mean, he's an actor, you know. He's somebody who's like, I mean, of course, he's also grown so much from, you know, when he started when he was 18. But I've always had that thing that I'm happy that if women really like Saif, because, you know, I mean, of course, he is charming. He has, you know, probably is, I think, the only actor who looks great in a suit. Yeah, I think that, you know, when he dresses up, that's why I think he has the confidence that he doesn't need to dress up all the time, and he's most of the time hanging around in his kurta pajamas, which he loves. So he has certain qualities that I think it's just, I've just probably seen in Saif. But I'm happy. I think most women, I hope they like him and love him, because
he's also an actor.
He's an actor, and that's also part of his profession, no? So it's so important.
True. I think a boarding upbringing has a lot to do with it. Would you contemplate sending your boys to the boarding too?
Oh God, right now I think no, they're too small, so I can't imagine, like, you know, sending them. That time was also very different. Today, you know, like parents, like, I mean, we love being with our kids. We look forward to that. This time is the time that we can give them.
Your mother, Babita ji, raised 2 children while she was a leading lady. Your mother-in-law, Sharmila Tagore ji, raised 3 children. What is the art for an actress to be desirable, even though she's somebody's wife and somebody's mother?
I think that knack is just there, you know. I think it's just you either have it or you don't, you know. I don't know, I think, because I think कोई सोच के तो नहीं desirable बनता है. बिकॉज वो दिखता है कि आप सोच रहे हो और यू नो ऐसे कपड़े पहनते हैं, ऐसे जिम के वीडियोस लगाएंगे, ऐसे इतना लुक यू नो लाइक सेक्सी और समथिंग लाइक दैट, एंड ऐसे थोड़ा इट्स नॉट थॉट ऑफ. आई थिंक द फैक्ट इज उस जमाने में तो सोचते नहीं थे कि क्या है. आई थिंक जस्ट द फैक्ट दैट यू नो दैट अनअटेनेबल एक क्वालिटी होती है, यू नो, जो कोई कोई स्टार्स में अब तक है. तो आई थिंक वो एक क्वालिटी है, यू नो, इट्स जस्ट देयर. बट I don't think people who don't try too hard, na, they become
sexy. They look.
I think so. Na, it doesn't matter okay how what she's wearing. I think some people can wear practically like you know the smallest of clothes, but it's not necessary. It has to be very attractive.
Very true.
You know, it can be. I think like a woman in a sari can just be looking so elegant and yet at the same time as desirable. You know.
You being the granddaughter of Raj Kapoor Sahab, and you yourself being an actor of repute. Is there any one film of your grandfather, Mr. Raj Kapoor, that you would like Aamir Khan Productions to make and you star in the lead?
I don't know. He was such a he was just such a great filmmaker. So if you pick any one of his films, I mean, there would be Barsat, there's Awara, there's even a Mera Naam Joker. I mean, I think actually I would love to see Aamir in that part.
And yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, me in any one of the roles are like, I mean, it's like a dream, na?
But I see you dancing like Megaliyan ye chawara.
Yeah.
Imagine
Prem Log was also a classic. It's one of my favorite films.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Time for a short break on the show. When we come back, we have director Anand L Rai talking about creating women characters like Datto from Tanu Weds Manu to Babita Kumari played by Kareena Kapoor in Zero. After the break. Welcome back to Now Showing. I'm Atika Farooqui. Now moving on to director Anand Rai, whose film Raksha Bandhan releases in theatres to a great opening. In the 2 decades that he has spent in the Hindi film industry, he gave us female characters that are strong yet not dismissive, are sexy yet not failing in wisdom. He tells us the process of creating female characters that stand the test of box office as well as relatability.
हम अभी तक एक मदर इंडिया जैसा कैरेक्टर, नरगिस जैसा कैरेक्टर नहीं बना पाए, या एक मुगले आजम जो कि इट कैन बी डिपिक्टेड एट 2 मर्दों का ईगो, पर उसमें आप देखिए मेन हीरो कौन है. मतलब एक जो मधुबाला जी ने वो कैरेक्टर प्ले किया है, दैट लुक्स बिगर देन द बादशाह. के आसिफ साहब का वो कैरेक्टर, मुझे नहीं लगता कि हम लोग उसका 5% भी कर पा रहे हैं फीमेल कैरेक्टर्स के साथ. दे आर सो मैजिकल. When we were scripting for Tanu Weds Manu in 2009-2010, मुझे अपने आसपास तनुजा त्रिवेदी दिखने लगी थी. When I went on to Ranjana again, that was a time where these characters were around me. The only thing I am just bringing out on the celluloid, and I have been very true to the time. Then a time came for something like Tanu Weds Manu Returns. I really enjoyed bringing Datto on screen. It was so beautiful and so real. Whether it is now Sara's character in Natarangire, where you see such a young character with that kind of aggression, that kind of clarity, with his confused mind also, she was out there. It is time that brings out a story in you and the character, and same way a female character. I truly believe are these makers whose name I took, like Bimal Roy making Bandhani and Sujata, Raj Kapoor giving us Prem Rog, Yash Chopra giving us a lot of films like Lamhe, and then somebody like Rajkumar Santoshi making Damini and Lajja. Unka depiction for a female character has been brilliant. I had to just go back and learn from them. And this is a process, and I think in future you will see much more than that coming from other makers.
After giving a dazzling performance in the political drama Maharani that was premiered last year in May, Huma Qureshi is back as CM Rani Bharti with the second season of Sony Liv's political drama Maharani. My colleague Vishal Chatkara spoke to Huma and her co-stars from the show SohumShah and Amit Sial about making this show and working with the director Subhash Kapoor.
You all will be returning with Sony Liv's political drama Maharani 2. Expectations are sky high. The trailer looks very promising. What is in the store for the audience this time around?
Well, as the trailer would have shown everybody, I think a bigger series, a more intriguing series, better performances, and also I feel like with season 1, nobody knew what to expect. Now I think everybody has had a little bit taste of the world of Maharani, and I think season 2 is going to take you on a bigger journey.
Do you understand your respective characters better emotionally, and how much time it took you this time around when you started shooting for season 2?
I guess definitely क्योंकि आपने एक कैरेक्टर पहले कर लिया है तो आपको उसका सुर समझ में आ जाता है और हमारा सीजन तो वैसे भी 1 साल के डिफरेंस पे शूट हुआ था तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि मुझे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई भीमा इतना मेरे लिए इम्पोर्टेंट कैरेक्टर था कि वो कहीं ना कहीं बस गया था मुझे लगता है हम सबके अंदर ही बस गया था हुमा के अंदर रानी बस गई है अमित के अंदर नवीन बस गया है या नवीन के अंदर अमित बस गया है
हम लोगों को भी अपने अपने कैरेक्टर्स में और इंट्रिकेसीज एक्सप्लोर करने की वो मिली अपॉर्चुनिटी इस वाले सीजन में और ज्यादा इन डेप्थ में गई एक दूसरे की लाइफ में
Subhash Kapoor is this genius of a director who to me is someone who understands this sort of the concept of dark comedy very well or satire. You all have worked together with Subhash ji. You of course have worked with him in Jolly LLB2, and Amit, you of course have worked with him twice. One was a terrific First Gear Obama, and then the film Guru Rangila. How was the experience of teaming up with Subhash Kapoor for this series?
Phenomenal.
Wonderful. We felt like coming back home. You know?
जैसे कि आपने बहुत ही करेक्टली कहा कि सटायर एक तो इस देश में इतनी बनती नहीं है और सुभाष कपूर का हाथ बहुत साफ है उनका कि और कुछ भी करते हैं उसमें कॉमेडी का फ्लेवर तो आता ही है तो अगर आपने महारानी भी देखी होगी कितना भी इंटेंस हो पर डायलॉग में चीजों में आप गुदगुदा देते हो हंस देते हो तो वो उनका राइटिंग का कमाल है
एंड इज अ परफेक्शनिस्ट नो आई थिंक वो हम सबको पुश करते हैं टू डू आवर बेस्ट वर्क तो आई थिंक वो मजा भी आता है बिकॉज आई फील बहुत सारे टेक जो फर्स्ट या सेकंड टेक में बहुत डायरेक्टर्स आपको ओके बोल देंगे बोलेंगे हाँ अच्छा मिल गया बट ही विल ऑलवेज पुश यू टू गिव दैट एक्स्ट्रा 200% वाला शॉट
That's all that we had for you. Next week, I meet up with Vidya Balan and discuss a subject that needs so much attention. Please be with us next week. और वैसे भी अब आप कहाँ जाएंगे? अब तो आपको हमने शो का मुरीद बना दिया है ना? Kidding, joking. But ये सच भी है. So see you next week, and till then, you take good care of yourself and keep watching good movies. Goodbye.